So, fingers crossed. Here we go. Bring it down, and then put the lift there, and it sort of worked, really. Yeah. Hi guys, Frisbee here. How you doing? Okay, so last time I think we had just fallen out of this elevator stroke space station, or the beginning of the space station, and landed on my ass. So this was me a way back up to start proceedings again. But I had left my small elevator cycle up there, the one that I fell out of. So now I had to get past that. So I've got two of them here, and I've got to fight my way past them, and then try and get up to the elevator. While you're watching all that happen, I just want to say thanks to everybody for the suggestions for the new games. There was a ton of suggestions, like all really good. Like for the new Factorio and for homebrew vehicles and From the Depths. In the end, I went just now for space engineers and medieval engineers together. So I've got a lot of learning to do. So over the next few weeks, there'll be some, what I'm doing here is I've got to try and cut away these vehicles so that one of them at least is in a decent position for me to remount if I fall out again. So it's very precarious. As you can see, they're spinning around here, and I've just got to try and either get the switches or get the thrusters off of one of them at least, and I just fall out. God damn it. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so it's medieval engineers and space engineers are what we're going to be looking at next. But it's going to take me a while to get proficient with them to the point where I can make something that's worth watching. So suggestions there. Maybe I'll put out a really basic one and you guys can say, well, try this and try that. But I'm not going to be up with the experts for a long time. Well, there you go. That was my next version. So I managed to hook the two of them and then go flying off into space again. You can see why this video is called Space Disaster, can't you? But the worst is still to come. And there's one of them flying about, just about hits me on the mush, and it goes spinning off. So that was hilarious. Yeah, okay. By the way, up to this point, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and please give me a like. I got a really good response for the likes the other week, and it did work. It helped a lot. So give me a like, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe already, because there's tons going on. Lots of new stuff coming into the channel, and it's we're really going to shake things up. Have a good time. Okay, so here we are. We're back again. Nice 90-degree viewpoint. I love that wide angle. It's really nice. So I've set it a little bit apart from where those vehicles were, etc., with the hope of making a nice clean landing. And we'll zoom up. This thing is so big, isn't it? It's huge. It's just absolutely huge. It's beautiful to watch as well. I've got no thrusters are on, but you can't see them. It's crazy when it does that. Now it looks as if it's going down, but it's going up, and boink. Now I would say that's what's called a hard landing, because I hooked right into it and then slammed right round the other way. So yeah, that was fun. So I tried to dislodge it in all sorts of ways, but in the end I just had to cut it free. These things are easy to make. It's just four tiles with a bunch of thrusters on them, and some uprights, upstands, and away you go. So rather than build those sort of tree cycles that whip up and down the elevator, I think from now on I was just going to build these. So we'll just wait until that's done, and then we will proceed to the next part. Right? Okay, so once we got settled in, we started building the space station proper. So I built this little arm so that I could experiment with roof fixings, because that's the tricky part. Is sometimes when you fix them to the roof, they fix on this side of the roof. Of course, we fell off a few times and then went back up again. I keep forgetting that. A number of times I fell off to this thing. So, yeah, the roof fixings. So what happens is some of them fix flat onto the ceiling, but others fix to the other side of the ceiling, pointing down. It took me a while to realise this. So you're getting a multiple levels of fixtures, and I was wondering if there's any way to exploit that. But meantime, this was going to be the base of the space station. These hazard striped cubes, blocks, are the ones that cannot be deleted, because if you delete one of them, as you know, the whole thing comes crashing down. So I thought I'll build a hazardy type thing, knowing not to delete it. And then on top of that, I'll put tasteful white tiles with a blue surround, and make it look like somebody's bathroom. And that will be the space station proper, and that will be a floor that we can build on and delete things from. So all you do is you put a little disk in one corner, and then from now on, anything you delete that branches off of that disk is fine. It just gets treated like ordinary. And that's how we achieved it. And I filled it out with white. And as you see, the station starts to progress quite a lot, really quite well. It's doing okay. Speeded this up a little bit for you, but not much. So, I mean, we're thinking at this point it's time to start making buggies and stuff like that. But in order to extend the station a wee bit so that we can start building rail stations and stuff like that, I thought I would put an extra arm on the back of that swivel, and this one extends. So this is pretty cool. I quite like this one. And you control it simply by tapping in different degrees. Rather than hitting buttons, you just open the controller and say I want to go 10 degrees that way or 140 degrees this way. It's a little bit slower, but it's very precise. And you can get to exactly where you want to be. And things, but as you can see, it's got a limited reach. Now here's the thing, right? So I'm on the side there. I've just as an experiment, I've put a chair onto the side of what should be the very top blocks. You see them? And then I've teleported into that chair. By the way, we're building the rover. I'm getting ahead of myself. But you'll see why that chair is sitting at that funny angle up there is because I was exploring the upper part of the ceiling while at the same time building the buggy. Okay, so the buggy is just about ready to go. Now, at one point I will put a seat onto the buggy upside down just so that I can give it a test drive. Cut the tether, up it goes, just so I can give it a test drive. And as you know, when you come out of a seat, you teleport out of a seat, you always end up on the top side of it. Here we go. Now I'll teleport out, and what happens? Watch this. 1 minute she's facing that way. Next thing, you know, she's sitting above the ceiling. Now that should not be possible. And you can see there's another teleport chair at the back there and a whole bunch of blocks that are sitting above the level. So there is some, look, also notice the hair's pointing up the way and her hands are floating up the way. So gravity is reversed here, yeah? So there is definitely something strange going on. And that's why I'm so keen to build space stations and stuff, is to come up here and investigate it. Look at that, for instance. You put on the lift on the other side of the ceiling and up it goes. So this is all crazy physics, and I want to know what's going on and I want to abuse it. So it's all good. So we'll go back to the buggy next, I think. Yeah, back to driving the buggy. Here's where the tail starts to turn a bit sour. As you can see, we're lagging out a little bit here for some reason. The frames per second starting to go. And I click into the station. I click into the buggy. You see it's jumping about all over the place. This is a sign of things to come. I've put a floor onto the buggy so that we're facing the right way. And we're one square above the actual floor of the space station. We take off, and then all of a sudden it's just one game crash after another. About 15, 20 game crashes. Tried everything. But in the end, the station got crapped. So I was really, really annoyed and really upset. So I thought, right, the best thing to do now to kiss it goodbye is just to kill this elevator, and we will start a new station, but this time we will make sections down on the ground and then we will fire them up to the ceiling. But first let's have some fun with this. Now I know more about it since I started doing the audio here than what I did when I was recording it, because what you'll see at some point is that this thing will disappear. And I think maybe I could go back and find it at another part of the map. Now see, it's starting to slide off. I've cut only one piece away, and it's starting to slide off. Don't forget, this thing is the size of the map. It's absolutely gigantic. And I've put these wooden blocks underneath in the hope that when it falls down on them, it will start tipping. Frames per second going again there. Everything's starting to judder about, but I'm thinking it slides right off and it stays upright. I couldn't believe it. So I hacked a few more away again to see if I could get it to upset. Nope, still won't. Still coming down. Good fun to play with, but good a bit of investigations. And then did it again a couple of times. Can't believe it, it's just not moving anywhere. So then, crazy enough, the whole thing fits onto the lift. It behaves like a single object and it lifts up. Look at that. That's just nuts. Right, so I think this time I've got it, because I can build off centre on the other underside of that, and I'll just put an eccentric platform there, and it will, when I drop it, make the thing topple over, or so I think. And then cut it away, let it fall, and the damn thing just stays there. Now I wonder if I'd have waited like 2 hours, maybe it would have toppled over, maybe it was just going really slow. I don't know, but I was too impatient. So I whacked some thrusters onto it, pulled them up full, and put them at funny angles to each other. So that what I was trying to imagine I was trying to do was like when you kick the feet away from someone and they go backwards. I'm just trying to destabilise it at its base by whatever means. Didn't probably use the right vectors for the job, but believe it or not, it started spinning. So I just know the physics is just like completely whack now. We're not dealing with it. We're dealing with 100% game physics here, i.e. as in fantasy. So the thing's sliding about all over the place. It's still quite mad. It's still quite perplexing as well. I just wanted it to tip over or just do something different. Not just even jump up and start riding the thing. In a nice way. Crazy, huh? The whole thing is moving around. So I'm going to go back and search this entire map and see if I can find it, but it's going to disappear in a second after a game crash. It just did this strange dance for about 5 minutes, bumping into things. Again, there's more physics there that could be used to do I don't know what, but it's kind of weird. Frames per second going, and you know something's going to happen then, and it crashes. And there you go, it's gone, disappeared. So, screw that, let's start building the next one. Okay, so what we learned from all these space adventures is that space is dangerous and space is uncomfortable. So I thought what we'll do is we'll make a nice initial section of a space station, but we'll make it out of mattresses. You know how like in Andromeda, starships and all sorts of starships that you can think of, there's always these like octagonal walkways between the bridge and between the different sections. So I thought we'll start off with one of those sections and we'll make it out of the mattresses because they look quite cool. And then we'll put in some nice doors so we can do EVAs and we can go and test the physics up there. And yeah, it's all looking good. So this is how we're going to progress now. You've got an amazing reach for this game with the how far away you can put blocks on. I really appreciate that you can do it from that distance. Seems you're climbing up too much all the time, but I did still have to climb up quite a lot to build this one. So what do you think? An IKEA space station, yeah? It's alright, it's a good idea, isn't it? Not been done before. Not quite sure what the purpose of these mattresses are in the game anyway. Oh, maybe, of course, maybe there's a respawn thing. Maybe later on, when the survival kicks in, you're going to need, just like in Minecraft, you'll need the bed either to respawn into or to get your health back or whatever. So that's probably why they're there. But for the meantime, they're good space station panels, and you can invert them to get that nice sort of contrasty look. But you must admit, it looks really comfortable already, doesn't it? You just want to go to sleep on the thing. Now, as for the next sections, we'll make them look a lot, if we can get this one up onto the sky, we'll make them a bit more sciencey and a bit more purposeful and a bit more, some more automated things, and automated the next thing, start using more of the functions that are in the game. But for now, I just wanted this, just like the International Space Station, they just started with a basic section at first, didn't they? And then they started firing up all the bits and pieces. So there it is, in all its glory. I've discovered I know how to make a hard docking system, and one that will click in soft, and then it'll fix in hard and won't come back out again. You know, like a socket, it just clicks in and it can't come back out. So that's not too difficult. So the idea is to make the next section click into this one, so that it's a permanent catch. I think the other idea is I'm going to put some kind of wheel system up on top, so when it gets up there we can manoeuvre them about. And that'll be it. This is at 90 degrees again. It looks very, very big and wide open. I like that door, eh? It's cool. There it is, our IKEA blue space station. I'll just show you a few sequences just to manage to get some thrusters on it. I mean, a lot of thrusters to get this thing off the ground. Frames per second going again there. That's why I took that door out. That door was causing problems. Not sure what, but I'll investigate that. Get back to you. Anyway, meantime, let's take some thrusters on it and just to see if we can get it off the ground. That's as far as we're going to go today. It looks tiny in there, isn't it? It's absolutely massive for that thing. It's huge. And 3, 2, 1, hit it, and away it goes. Okay, it pulls off to the one side because it's not really balanced. But I think what we'll do is we'll put either gyroscopes or self-balancing systems, or have a look around, scout around, to find out what the best one is to make it go up straight, come down straight, or even manoeuvrable, we'll say. But at this point, that's what we've got. There's we come down. It's in a more sort of rocket-like position. It actually would look quite good, that I think, if you made a big octagonal rocket and then had it up that direction. That's a thought. Because it's a more conventional way of launching things, but you're never going to get enough thrusters at the base of it to get it to take off. So I think the sideways launch is probably the best idea. It's a nice map, this one, I quite like it. Okay, folks, so we're going to leave it there, and I will catch you on the next one, which will either be Besiege, or it will be Space Engineers, or it will be Medieval Engineers. I'm not sure what to tackle first, but probably one of the new ones. But which one, I don't know. I have to find something unique to do to make it worth making a video. Ideas in the comments. Speak to you later. Bye.